SRUC.TV.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Southern Regionals for 2018 here in Strathalbyn, South Australia. This morning we have the men's quarterfinals. We have the Ballarat Gold Diggers playing up against the non-WUC heads of state team, Melbourne Carnage. Sebastian Barr is going to have the disc at the moment. That's Matthews Hunter. Hoss working down the near side, very close to the sideline there. All of a sudden, Evans now pivots out. It's stopped. Sebastian Barr swings. Far side of the field, that's David Knight with the disc. He looks back in the middle of the field. Sebastian Barr with the give-go, dominated movement. David Knight with, well, that's a pattern DK hammer. And that's 1-0 to the non-WUC Hoss team out of Melbourne. They go up early here, and it's a beautiful morning. Strathalbyn, South Australia, lovely place. Beautiful part of the country. Driving through the hills, a lot of low cloud around, so we'll see that burn off through the day, and I think we're in for an absolute corker this morning. An absolute corker of a day. The temperatures forecast to get up at around 30 degrees. And, well, hopefully the wind is something similar to yesterday. And if it is, well, the later games this afternoon will be interesting because the wind did pick up and create a bit of interest. It was nothing insurmountable, but did separate the men from the boys and the women from the girls, as Tom Regacki said yesterday afternoon. So we're going to have a chance to see this Melbourne Carnage team on defence and Ballarat Gold Diggers. They're going to have a chance to go on 0. Chance to convert their first O possession. They weren't able to stop the heads of state offence. Kind of rolled straight over the top of their defence. So a nice pull, it's inside out. It's going to fall 10 metres, 5 metres inside. Boyle with the disc. The stack is completely static. There is nothing coming for him. Huck goes up, it's to the fat side of the field, and he grabs it. A very nice grab there by the tall receiver. He has a bit of a height advantage. He goes low release to the back of the end zone. And that looked like a score from where I'm standing. Ballarat Gold Diggers, they level it up at 1-1. Fast, flowing, and ultimately successful. They punched that one in the end zone. That's 1-1. See if we can get a replay on the screen there. Yes, here it is. That hike to the fat side of the field, height advantage mismatch. The shot selection was great. And then there's the low release, straight under the mark to the streaming receiver who gets his buttocks down in bounds by the looks of it. Not the most graceful grab, but it counts, and that's 1-1. So Ballarat holding serve early. See Greta Hunt, formerly Greta Hunt. It's Greta Murdoch, I think. Murdoch Knee Hunt. One of the best coaches in Australia out there helping this young Ballarat team. Lots of young faces out there, but a few Australia representatives from the junior teams. So a lot of talent, and we saw from that offensive point that, well, they've got plenty of athleticism, and they've got some skills as well. That throw was, it was to a mismatch, but it was pretty much in a really good spot, and holy moly, that pull is very, very good. That's going to go 10 yards in the end zone. Sebastian Barr now is going to find Brendan Ashcroft with the frisbee, who goes quick release backhand. Dishy with Ashcroft, who pumps the huck. Back in the middle, Ashcroft running the offense from the primary receiver position around Sebastian Barr in the end zone. The wily handler drop punts the disc, and wow, this offense is looking pretty good. The second point better than the first. And just complete flow. Brendan Ashcroft, one of the fastest men in Australian Ultimate, Just completely running the show from that primary receiver position. Receiving 3 passes before the final throw in the end zone. Left backhand. Sebastian Barr getting downfield out of the handler position, and I mean, I'm not sure you have that much to celebrate about, Seb, but hey, whatever, dude. I'll let you get away with it this time. So, Gold Diggers now back on offense. 2-1. I mean, this game could just turn into a shootout here. And I wouldn't be completely opposed to it either. We've seen the Ballarat offense, they utilised that long shot to a height mismatch. It's a great grab. So here's the pull. Inside out, quite flat. It's going to get some reasonable distance. The handler goes above his head. Confident catch there. Loose defense, undercut. Schweissner looks around, resets the disc, pumps the huck, doesn't quite have it, goes underneath. Another deep cut coming from a long way down the field. The reset, swing. There's a receiver a long way down the field. He really needs to clear out that space and make some space for his other receivers. Graham resets. Ballarat finding a little bit hard at the moment. They're struggling to get some movement down the field. The handlers, though, are maintaining possession. Nice high release break to Leaney. Leaney goes the pivot, turn around, look away. Reset. This Ballarat stack is a very, very long way down the field, and they're going to huck it up the... Oh, what a grab. Hello. Ballarat are here to play early, taking their shots down the field. It doesn't look like they have a red zone offense because they're never going to get there. They're just going to huck it in the end zone from 50 yards away. And I mean, that grab was something special. See the huck, it's got good location on the disc. He's thrown it to his receiver's advantage, who just goes up and makes a play. I mean, if you're the defender there, you've done pretty much everything you can, save for tackle the bloke. So Ballarat stay on serve, and this game is turning into a shootout. So again, we'll see the Melbourne Carnage O-line. It's been clicking like a well-oiled Swiss watch this morning. First 2 points they've really punched in without much difficulty, and I think the more alarming thing for Greta on the sidelines is that they've done it 2 different ways thus far. First point they scored one way, and then the second point they used Brennan Ashcroft in that primary receiver position to generate the movement, get yardage, and then the final score to the open side. Sebastian Barr has the receiver. He puts it up. It's in a good spot. Meehan tracks back. He goes up and he gets the block. What a great play by Meehan. Ballarat get a turn. Sebastian Barr airing it out, and his receiver just can't make the play. Meehan comes off his player to make the block. Excellent awareness there. Heads up play. Climbing up and getting the block. We see it here. I mean, he's a little bit shorter, but front position, when you're the shorter player, that's where you should be. As the shorter guy, you're never going to go over a taller opponent. So you got to get to the front, make them make the play, make them go over you. And now Ballarat, they're in the corner, and there's a big huck from Boyle. He's just going to air it out. Ballarat with a chance. They've ripped down everything thus far. What a close one that was. I mean, it bounced off the receiver's hands. Barr is going to reset to Ashcroft, who apparently is a handler now. He's going to go pro backhand to the far side, get the give go. He's going to go hammer now. Brendan Ashcroft apparently can throw. I don't know when that happens. And the Melbourne Carnage, after a little bit of a heart stopper, Ballarat gets the turn, but, well, Melbourne Carnage, they get a little bit lucky there, and they convert their O point. Everything's been to the right of the screen so far. I find it interesting that David Knight looks like he's playing offense these days. He was one of the most underrated defenders in Australia, according to Simon Talbot. Simon, of course, is a local of Melbourne and knows the Victorian players very well. So it's interesting that he's on offense these days. I wonder if it's because he's getting old. So here we are with Carnage now on defense. I think we might have the wrong score here. I think it's 2-2 at the moment. It might be 3-2. But I'll guarantee you Ballarat aren't up. So here we go, Ballarat now working out of a horizontal set. Meehan comes across, grabs the frisbee, fakes the huck. That's Prendergast here on the near sideline. Long on the mark. Resets. Ballarat just trying to Garrett. Oh, Harry goes. And he's actually going to test Brendan Ashcroft. And, I mean, you're never going to get that one past the speedy Ashcroft. He points and he says, go. Matthews Hunter. Swing to the far side of the field. That's Wong with the disc. Heads of state now. The opportunity to go up a break. High release flick. Nice looking throw. Ashcroft. Dishy movement to the open side. Ashcroft running the offense now as the handler. I mean, how do you stop that run from the handler position? Dominator movement to the open side. Ashcroft, he pulls out of that cut because he's just clogging the lane a little bit. Throw to the open side. And just really nice positional ultimate there. Carnage go up the break. And I'll make it 4-2. And it's really what we've been waiting for. It wasn't really a matter of if, but when Carnage were going to go up a break here. You would have to say that they are the favourite team. Full credit to Ballarat thus far. I mean, they could be up the break at the moment. See here on the replay, just nice around into the open space. Matthew Hunter's very experienced campaigner now. I mean, he was spent a few junior campaigns with the Worlds team. I reckon he played junior Worlds, and he's played a few campaigns with Fishwick United out of Canberra. He now lives in Melbourne, Victoria, so playing for the Heads of State team. It's a pretty fucking handy pickup. I mean, if you've got a Nationals caliber player moving to your town and he says, yeah, I want to play for you guys, that's pretty handy. Not just a Nationals caliber player either, a Nationals caliber player with the World's experience. There's something about players that have gone to Worlds that they just seem to stand just that little bit taller, just that little bit more capable. I've always thought it was the pressure and the level at which they're expected to play, and they do play for, you know, the week or whatever it might be, whichever tournament they end up at. Oh, the deep cut's there. The Huck's gonna get hand blocked. David Knight in the sunglasses getting a big hand block. He's got that lanky frame. He's long in the body, long in the arms. He's kind of disproportionate. He doesn't really... he looks like he was put together out of spare parts, but just makes him an outstanding Frisbee player. Oh, that hammer. A little bit big, but there we go. Heads of state. Melbourne Carnage go in for another break. of strong individual play from David Knight. I'm not sure about the Sunnies. Sunglasses when playing, eh? Apparently that's the new look. All right, so at 5-2 here, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back momentarily. Okay, Melbourne Carnage now. They are back on offense. I've lost audio in my ears now. So I'm going to go back to the old Mark 1 ear roll and we'll listen to this play here. Ballarat on offense. This is looking a little bit better. That's good metage going into Lini. Cutters come under. Nice low release flick. Ryan with the frisbee, looking down the field. Oh, nice block there. Looks like there's going to be a call. I mean, that was tight. It fit the disc in there, and it looks like it's going to be uncontested. Boyle makes the short break cut. Gets the disc. That's Seb Barr on the mark. Lini, far sideline. Looks for the up the line. Oh, and there's a huck in the end zone. Brendan Ashcroft is going to just see that one out. So Sebastian Barr going to bring this disc in. We're going to work out of a horizontal stack. Is that? I don't know. It looks like maybe an inverted U. Weird looking look. Oh, the huck. Outside in. Oh. Matthews Hunter there. Not quite able to get himself set and bid for that. Would have been a spectacular catch had he got that one. Ballarat taking their time retrieving the disc. New rule in Ultimate is apparently you've got 20 seconds to get the disc in play. I mean, I don't see that rule really being enforced much. Ashcroft covers the under, looks for the dump. Oh, he's in trouble now. There's the high throw. Boyle kind of runs into Matthews Hunter by the looks of it. Nice throw from meters there. Wong goes inside out to the streaming receiver deep. Visit with the disc. Fakes the backhand. Ashcroft. Lots of space on the field. He sees it all right now. Seb Barr. No, he points to the fat side. What a throw. Brendan Ashcroft. Showing some vision there. Sees the defense bite on the open side, and then goes back to the fat side. Nice around throw, easy score. I believe that's 6-2 now. I think Greta might be calling a timeout. You see this throw back to Ashcroft. He's got no mark, no pressure. He just sees the field. And you can see him just as where he wants him to go and just little throw into space. Yeah, it is going to be a timeout here. So we'll take a quick break. I'll grab a drink of water. And I think I might go have a word to the Melbourne Carnage boys about their celebration, because that was god-awful. I mean, it's bad when you kick the disc, but it's worse when you try and kick the disc and miss. Okay, coming out of the timeout. Greta's just wanting to make a few adjustments over there on the Ballarat line. They've struggled a little bit on offense after clicking very, very nicely in the first 2 points. All of a sudden struggled. The clear cut from the handler position. Boyle with the frisbee. He's going to let it rip. The receiver's got free of his man. That's Meehan. Down the stretch. He's on the end zone line. The stall will be getting up. He needs to find something here. He goes around to the fat side. We're seeing again just that pass, but Boyle, wow, that huck, forehand, and the Melbourne Carnage defender just lost his man completely under the disc. Man taking an undercontested catch in the end. We see a bit of a vertical stack now for Melbourne. Nice count off the front of the stack. That's Stu Austin with the disc. Lots of mess down the field. It's not really clearing. Now it clarifies. Melbourne Carnage. Leon. The around. Thorpe to Lee. There, that's, I don't know who that is, but Leon can't quite get there. Carnage unable to convert their opportunity there. They created the turn and had some good flow early. Just that last throw in the end zone. It's a killer. Sometimes that last throw in the end zone is the hardest throw to make. So the clouds are blowing in a little bit here. We've got a... it's keeping the heat down a little bit. It's a little bit chilly. I might have to go get my jacket. Looks like Stewart with the disc. Boyle gets low. He's had a big part in this offense thus far. His throws have been very, very good. Speaking of very good, he had two options there. If one didn't catch it, the other one did, which is in fact what happened. That's Prendergast with the disc. Tight defense now for Melbourne. The big around into the open space. Meehan, oh, everyone misreads that. It's too much. The wind may be catching the edge there. David Knight, too cool for school in the Sunnies. Knight goes to Austin. Austin with that whippy left-handed style that he has. Ooh, interesting looking huck. That's Thorpe. Okay, that's one way to score. Have a deep receiver huck it to one of your handlers. I mean, how do you stop that as the goal diggers there? That's hard to stop, you know. The cut and the throw come from the complete opposite ends that you expect it to be coming from. Thought just the throw was magical. If you're deep receivers can make those kinds of throws, that adds an extra weapon to your offense. But apparently the order of the day is kick the disc after scoring. I'm gonna have to have a word with these boys. So this could result in Carnage taking an early half if they can get a turn, create an opportunity for themselves to punch one into the end zone. While we're waiting for teams to sort out their line calls, quick shout out to the Alexandrina Shire Council, wonderful people who have had us here this weekend at Southern Regionals, hosting us in beautiful Strathalbyn. Ashcroft signaling that he's ready. Greta just clearing the field now. She's had a quick chat to her offensive line here. Ashcroft is going to go outside in. Good looking pull. It's going to be a little bit short in terms of distance, but the bounce will make it a little bit awkward. Harry with the frisbee. I don't know if it's that's his first name or last name, but that's what's on the back of his jersey, so we'll go with it. Throw to the far side. And here we have Ballarat trying to work out of a horizontal set. They're struggling to generate downfield movement. Throw into space. Nice grab there. Working off an isolation Ashcroft, he nearly passes it to the Ballarat receiver. Big throw into space. Ashcroft picking up the disc and punting it. And that's a score, and that is half. 8-2, ladies and gentlemen. Melbourne Carnage, after trading early, have shot out to considerable lead here. And well, Ballarat are going to have a few minutes to talk it over, try and figure out what they can do to come back in this game, what they want to achieve here. And well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Southern Regionals 2018, just coming out of halftime now. Ballarat Gold Diggers versus the non-WUC heads of state team, Melbourne Carnage. I'm joined by Stefan Boxall on the mic. He's going to come and make a bit of a cameo appearance here in the commentary booth. Thank you for joining me, Stefan.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's exciting. I'm finally getting to watch some games. It was a big day yesterday coaching with Melbourne Colossus, and we had 5 games, so we didn't get to see too many other teams. So I'm pretty excited to see what they're serving up.
No, well, you'll be familiar with your compatriots, the Carnage.
Yeah, very. And our head coach for Colossus is actually playing on that line. It's Brendan Ashcroft, the classic backwards white hat.
I mean, it's become quite the iconic look. And I mean, when you're that fast, you can do whatever you want.
Do what you want.
Even if it's flip the ball cap around backwards. Looks like a bit of a clam, soft zone. No, it's actually a 3-3-1. And it creates a turn. Ashcroft is going to pick up the disc. Barr with the frisbee in the middle of the field. He's going to go nice open side throw, just a little bit of a space gainer. Barr again with the frisbee. He's going to break around the mark. Ashcroft in the corner of the end zone. Pretty clinical stuff there, Stefan.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, calm offense. They just have some class on that line. Ashcroft moving to set Barr. Tom Biss has taken a huge step forward, and they just find space. And when you've got a big breakthrough like Barr does, it opens up that side of the field.
Yep. Barr, he's played many times for Australia, many times for his club at the world's level. He's been around the traps. I mean, they give him the opportunity here. Defender not playing particularly tight, as you see on the replay, and then just the around to create that break side flow. They've got just all the opportunity in the world to punch that one in for the score.
It's the signs of a offense that trusts each other, that they were happy just to work it sideways and take those calm options. And then you find the corner.
Yep. So, Carnage on defense, as they have been for the last 7 points.
They won't mind that at all with a small squad. They wanted these games to be a little bit shorter.
Yep. The less running they can do, the better. I was speaking to Sebastian Barr this morning. Asked him how he pulled up after yesterday's game. He said he was right as rain. After 2 games, he said he spent most of the time mooching on the sideline, not playing at all. Played maybe 10 points yesterday.
Sideline specialist.
Yeah, well, he was. He had a good day, apparently. See a quick turnover there, just off the hands of the Ballarat receiver. Thorpe's going to pick up the disc here. And he's looking towards the end zone. Might be a call down the field. Has a pick.
These Ballarat boys very aware of Paddy Thorpe's range there. They know that he wants that high release.
The high release forehand, that is?
Yes.
Gross. Oh, there it is to the fat side of the field. Receiver bids. Nope. A little bit too far there. Airing it out.
Look, it's the space. I would back LB Evans to get that most days.
Well, he was very, very close. It's a good bid. And we're going to see this zone look. Oh, Thorpe just playing as the deep. He's going to try and drive this. He's going to get called for a travel. Meehan. Is that Tippy?
That is Tippy. Tipman Wong.
He's wearing a shirt that says Meehan. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that he doesn't have a last name of Meehan. No. But anyway. Tippy Wong of Melbourne University alum.
Melbourne University, Vic University, and Deakin University, I believe.
Oh, he's 3-time alum. Thorpe with the frisbee. He's going to go open side. Matthews Hunter scoring the point. That's 10-2. And Ballarat on the ropes here.
Oh, look, the Hoss team's looking very strong here. They fill up those spaces so well, and Ballarat's struggling to find gaps. They got, 2 throws there. Paddy Thorpe's ranging that space, gets the intercept. They're going to have a really hard time to break this down at the moment.
I mean, we're seeing a little bit of the youth of the Ballarat team. They've got a lot in front of them. They've got a lot of talent, and it's just small skill errors at the moment that can be in your game when you're young and fresh and new to the game.
I'm hugely excited to see the Ballarat squad because there's a few of those guys who are playing the under-20s and Australian squad. They're actually holding the training camp in Ballarat just because there's so many Ballarat boys recently. So
that's a little bit scary for the rest of Australia because they're going to have to compete with potentially a very, very strong Ballarat team in the next 5 to 7 years. We know that Sydney and their dominance through the early thousands into the early 2010 was largely off the strength of their Worlds players. They had so many Worlds players who'd played at the absolute top level of the sport, which led into dominance at a domestic level.
Yeah, for anyone around the country, be aware they're coming. So high disc up.
Oh, I've just been delivered a hot coffee from the coffee man. Bean Machine, local business. They're here. They've been here all weekend, and thank you for coming, because that's what we need here. Keep the tones syrupy smooth. The crash comes from Ashcroft. The deep is there. It looks like the zone again. They're playing a little bit looser. There's the poach. Off the front, Barr is going to have the disc as the offense settles here. Leon looks down the field. Ashcroft with a lazy lope off the front of the stack. Creates an easy 5 yards at about 30% of his max speed. Ashcroft going to reset. Barr clears the break side. Thorpe with the frisbee goes around meters to Wong. Looking in the end zone. Barr draws a defender, and Leon with the catch. That's 11-2.
Oh, Ballarat having a really hard time tracking all the cutters from Hoss there. They were moving very well. Lots of switches between the defences, but they were like Ashcroft. The amount of ground he just covered was incredible. Breaking open, he just runs defenders off their feet. It's that simple. They can't follow for that long. But the cycling, really impressive. Opening up and back to the stack, open up the space. You know that old saying that you teach from the beginning.
Yeah, just coming back to Brendan Ashcroft, I remember his first mixed nationals. I was guarding him, and I was 5 meters off him in the end zone. And I'm like, nah, he won't beat me to the open side. Well, I think everyone here knows what happened. He beat me to the open side with about 5 meters separation. His first 4 steps are just so fast, and that's where I'm quickest, Stefan. I was normally one of the fastest over 5 and the slowest over 40, but he blows past you so fast, and you have so little time to react and get out of your back pedal and into a committed sprint that he creates separation in the blink of an eye.
Chatting to him about that last night, saying how he had to work really hard to go from the athlete to the player and work on being that all-round package, which got into the Croc squad last year. Well, yeah, last year.
I mean, a world selection was always on the cards for someone as physically gifted. Ashcroft has spent a lot of years training as a sprinter, so he's put in hard work, and well, now he's come over to Ultimate. The sport's better for it. Ballarat just working against this zone look again. It's a soft 3-3-1. I mean, this used to be the zone of choice many, many years ago. There's the huck. Stewart not able to track that down. So Melbourne Carnage going back on offense.
It's an interesting choice there from Titman Wong, going to the man marked pretty closely, deep. But maybe that's just the product of the pressure.
David Knight breaks the mark. Lee with the frisbee looks down the field. Looks off the deep cut. Evans goes now. David Knight gets the reset. Goes around into space. Contested catch. There's Lee. Just floats a little bit. He can't get his jets underneath him. And Ballarat now with another opportunity. Wong, far side of the field. Comes back in the middle of the field. The huck fakes, looks under, gets the reset to Stewart on the far side of the field. And the zone's back on. Contest deep, body position. Lee just strong under the disc there, and I don't think you call anything there, Stefan.
Look, they're having a little chat about that, whether there's a foul there, but I'm not
Leany got worked.
That's, yeah, Chuck, years of experience there, had him in position. If there's contact, there's minimal contact, but as we know, no contact sport. But look, I would be retracting.
You can see what Leany's saying, but at the end of the day, Lee just worked him. He gave him the business, driven him under the disc, and then he was just in a bad spot, right?
Yeah.
Because he had that presence on the inside of him, and he really couldn't set his feet where he wanted to go up for the frisbee. So we'll see another replay here. We see Lee just working him under the disc, great body position. There's no contact there as far as I'm concerned. It is going to get sent back. I mean, you can see Leany's argument, certainly.
Yeah, he obviously felt that he was closer to that disc than maybe we can see, but he thought he had a legitimate bid on it, and that's his perspective. And then,
well, it's his right.
Absolutely.
Tom Ragacki yesterday pointing out 14 referees on the field. Each with their own viewpoint, and each entitled to that viewpoint and their perspective on the game. Certainly not saying that Leany was wrong, but he was wrong. Stewart's going to go to Wong. Nice throw, breaking the cup there. Looks like they're transitioned out of man. There's a free player. Stewart's going to throw it out of bounds. He's not happy.
Yeah, the old turnaround, walk away, pretend that didn't happen. We had done some really great chats yesterday with the field using sideline as well, effectively, and trusting those different perspectives. We had multiple calls retracted just from teammates going, no.
Looks like Ballarat are going to run a zone look here. It's a line trap 1-3-2-1. Matthews Hunter is just going to beat the trap straight away. Wow. Awareness there from the Canberra original. David Knight now. Oh, and he's just going to jack it to Evans, who's got meters. Leany, unfortunately.
Yeah, Leany getting caught out there. He was sucked in towards, who is it, Cullen, and Helby Evans with just eyes lighting up the paddock in front of him. And DK always going to get that option. So,
yeah, David Knight, great throws. Long time Monday. Leany's still down out the back of the end zone. He's a bit distraught after that point. And he was fingertips, Stefan.
Fingertips.
I'm pretty sure it bounced off his fingernails.
Grow the fingernails and might have had a chance. What's that bring the score to now?
That's 11-2. Ballarat, after a bright start, have really struggled in this game. It almost took Melbourne Carnage 4 points to wake up, shake off last night's hangover, and then start to roll, because it's been all one-way traffic thus far.
I don't know about Carnage, but Colossus, we definitely enjoyed the German Arms Hotel, what they had to offer.
Harndorf, mate.
Harndorf.
Another great town in the hills of Adelaide. Well,
yeah,
Adelaide surrounds.
Yeah.
Harndorf is one of the... it's not really a secret because everyone knows about it. It's a great spot. Lots of beer, chocolate. I mean, it's just... if you've got 5 kilos to gain, go there.
Absolutely. I'll give a huge props to Otto's Bakery this morning. Great croissant, great coffee. Free advertising for you.
Is there also a bakery here in Strath that make an awesome steak pie? See Bar face marking.
There is a call. It's not clear what it was.
It might have been a stall. Might have been anything. Yeah. Anyway, Boyle has played well thus far. He's had some shots down the field and had some good shots. There's another shot. He noodle arms it, and Sebastian Barr is going to get skied. All of a sudden, Ballarat returning to what worked for them in the first 2 points. Boyle going deep down the field And who caught that goal? Was that Graham?
It is Graham, but that is not his name.
Well, he's going to get called Graham. That's what he gets for wearing the wrong jersey. So Ballarat back in it, 3-11.
Well, no, they're not back in it, actually. That's generous.
I'll retract that.
But I did wonder then. I saw Greta Murdoch walk into the line, the coach of Ballarat, wondering what words is she saying. And I'd be saying to them, play with freedom and stretch the field, use your big receiver, use your big throwers. And Tom Boyle is best in the business of that. For his age, his throwing repertoire is incredible.
Well, he's backed his flick huck, I want to say 3 or 4 times now, and I reckon 3 out of the 4 times he's hit the receiver, and that throw was about as good as it gets.
It's nearly a gift to him to force forehand. He just
it's
pretty
common in Australia that we're seeing a lot of players whose forehand is better than their backhand simply because the force is so predominantly forehand in the country. So Prendergast will pull here for the Ballarat Gold Diggers. David Knight's going to catch on the full to Sebastian Barr. It's a zone look. They're actually running a 1-2-2-1. Or maybe even a 1. Okay, it's like a force middle 1-3-2-1. Ashcroft catches the scuba, throws to space. That's a lot of players out there, and Thorpe's actually going to rip that one down for the score and the 12-3 lead.
Leah's got to be telling him, I had it, mate. I had that. Yeah, we see the side stack started by Carnage there, and then quickly just okay, zone, let's take our time, a couple of throws, back into position, and then break wide.
I question the zone look because it really didn't stop them. Sebastian Barr with the scuba, and that was actually the double helixing scuba that comes back the way you threw it from.
Completely deliberate, of course.
I think Ashcroft was probably throwing that to Lee, but Thorpe, good read on the disc there. He motors down the far sideline, catches himself a goal. And now Melbourne Carnage will come back out on defence, having scored that point. And Greta Murdoch, knee hunt.
Yeah, she's had a little bit to do with it, and she has a lot to do with these boys with the under-20s Australian squad as well.
She's one of the best coaches in Australia. Been a long-time coach at the international level, and brings her international experience back to the domestic scene here at the national level, working with a lot of the young kids in Ballarat specifically, and Victoria in general. I think she does a lot for the sport and for the new up-and-coming players. You see some of the heads of state ladies walking past. Good luck this morning. I believe that's some of the Phoenix girls. Had a good day yesterday.
Side stack here from Ballarat.
Okay, and an isolation on the far side of the field. A little bit of a shimmy. The receiver beats his mark, and then they're just going to air it out down the field. Ballarat, all of a sudden, Stu Austin getting a bit toasty out there. He's going to take a selfie with the disc.
Angus Wicks. Oh, take a bow, mate.
I mean, is that a Delphi?
Yes.
That'd have to be a Delphi.
Trademark that. It's going to shoot off.
It's taking off here. We're setting trends.
Hashtag it.
Just a lazy flick and into the space. Stu Austin, he's a little bit old for that.
Yeah, that's
a Delphi. Oh my God.
That little step.
Kids these days. What are they teaching them in school?
James Walker, their very impressive little shimmy to get rid of his player, and then the very casual forehand across, finds Angus Wicks. Easy as you like. They're both juniors selected for the Australian squad.
Ballarat now 4-12, 4-13 rather.
And we see the offense back out. Seb Barr, you need to get on the field. Poor guy.
Oh look, this game is well under control. I think we're looking at an early finish here.
I'm enjoying the extra freedom Ballarat's throwing the last couple of points, though.
Yeah, you can see what works for them. You know, when they air it out and just go deep down the field, they're really having a good shot at the Carnage. As Stefan, you're counting players. It doesn't look like they have enough on the field. Do they have 7?
They do have 7. I'm just having a look at their yet another zone look structure.
And it looks like they're going poach man on Thorpe down the field, which explains where the 7th is. Seb Barr goes the reverse helix scuba to Leon in the back. We've seen some interesting celebrations, the kick spike, the Delphi. And now I don't know what that was in the back of the end zone.
I'm going to have to ask him about that one later.
I'm sure he was going for something there, but he's too cool for us.
Look, Cam Lyon, Tom Bissett, I've never seen a bromance quite like those two walking off the field at the moment. But they
Good connection, eh?
They have a language to their own, and it's actually just the job of the rest of the club to try and decode it and work out what is actually happening.
Let's have a close look here. What is he doing? I don't think he knows what he's doing.
It's just freestyling.
So 14-4 now. Carnage, the opportunity to get off the field early here, before the 60-minute mark, if they can get a turn, punch it in for the score. And well, I'm sure Ballarat are going to try and make this as painful and as drawn out as possible for the non-WUC Carnage team.
I'm interested to see what defence they come down here. Lee was having words with his boys. Fantastic defensive coach working with Ellipsis last season, and the way they structured up was really impressive.
And that pull's garbage. He over-rotated on the pull there, just ripped the outside of the disc up too far. It goes outside in and just blades out of the sideline.
Look, I think there's questions to be raised here. Paddy Thorpe is playing without a towel. This is actually the first time in years I've seen this, so...
I mean, he switched up his boots. He used to wear those ugly mid-calf, I don't even know what kind of cleats they were. Anyway, Graham with the frisbee. Leany now gets a reset. They've got some big body handlers. That's not Graham again. Back to Leany. It's a flat zone. They're just looking to contain the offense here. Wong will break the cut to not Graham. Graham, he's... You get the sense that he's going to look for a big throw here. The hammer over the top to Wong, who good body control there, makes the catch. Hammer back the other way.
Play with some courage, go big, and you get the scores. That's impressive.
I mean, it's been the story of the game thus far. Oh, that's a disc train, a drain. If nothing else, their celebration game has improved as the game has gone on. I mean, and I'm not going to begrudge them either, because that was one 30-yard hammer backed up by a 35-yard hammer.
I reckon just back yourself in. I like the creativity. I think it's a good use of training time to really encourage that side of the game. And look, it's going to inspire you to score.
Yeah, lots of smiling faces out there as you see the celebration again.
Enjoy your frizz.
The frisbee train. All aboard, yo.
Okay, that zone worked for a second. Worked for a few throws and moved it across, but they did need the overhead throw to break it, and really...
It's a little bit calm for that though, Stefan. The breeze is pretty much non-existent. I would say it's blowing somewhere between 0 to 5 knots.
5 is generous.
Swell is 1 to 2 metres. If I was doing the weather report. Looks like Prendergast is going to pull. It's going to sit up a little bit. It's going to slide a little bit backwards. And we have another zone look. Barr is going to break to Ashcroft, who's going to go deep down the field. Leany's caught a little bit out of position, and Leon in the end zone. That's 15-5. That's game. We finish up with another kick spike. If nothing else, what Carnage have lacked in their originality for their celebrations, they've made up for in consistency. I think everyone's kick spiked the disc here, but that is this quarter finished. Carnage will move on into the semi-finals, looking for a higher seed at Nationals. And Ballarat will bow out, potentially go to Div 2.
Absolutely, and they're a team that we'll be training against, we'll be playing against. At Div 2 as Melbourne Colossus, they're a great squad and really talented. We saw that with a lot of energy, a lot of different looks from the coaches, and really exciting to watch.
And Mike's telling me that we have something special to look at on the screen as we see the spirit circle forming on the field. So what have we got here? Let's have a look. Kick spike montage, maybe? We're going to go through them all. That's Seb Barr. He's punted that one into the stratosphere. Matthews Hunter, he shows good form there. Oh, you know, these Victorians, Stefan, and I'm including you in that remark.
Oh, gee.
That's the one. It slays me. How do you miss something that's 30 centimetres wide and bright white?
I am so glad we have
It's almost like the brain isn't connected to the foot. Oh, my word. I'm done. Well, thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back very shortly with the men's semi-finals here on the show field in Strathalbyn, South Australia, Southern Regionals 2018. It was a good game, and Ballarat showed a lot of promise, Stefan. Bright future for them.
Bright future, and Carnage is looking strong for this tournament, and stick around because those semi-finals, the finals are really going to be hotly contested games.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you back very, very shortly for the men's semi-finals.
Alti.tv